We the people, we the people, we the people, we the people.
United States of America.
All right. Hello, my name's David Rocha. I'm from Providence, Rhode Island. And so I'm given this opportunity to speak for a bit. I suppose I'm addressing a crowd that extends beyond the people in the room, so I should speak as such. I wish I could think of something specific to tell the folks at home. I could tell you that economic circumstances as they exist right now are going to be significantly worse down the road. Money's being printed at an unprecedented rate, which, when inflation kicks in, is essentially going to destroy our money. It's nothing new. It's not something beyond the grasp of most economists. You can do your own research, folks at home. I could tell you that there are troops being trained for civilian actions within domestic territory. I could talk about that, but then again, you can do your own research. So that's up to you. I could talk about our failed foreign policy as a country. I could talk about, God, anything. There's so much going on that's wrong. What I can say is 2008 was a panic year. We saw the first rumblings of what is to come. 2009 is going to be it. It's the collapse. So, if I have anything to say, it'd be prepare. Put your money into gold and silver. Put your money into water and food. Yeah, canned goods, you know, prepare yourself. Be prepared. As I would love to say, you know, arm yourself, but in all honesty, you know, they're not going to come and take everybody's guns in one day. There isn't going to be a revolt that's violent. If anything, any violence that is instigated will be used as an example, you know, and put on TV. You know, and broadcast to people all across the country and use as a justification to lock things down even more. So even the guns, as much as Americans, we believe in them, it's not going to work this time. Survival is key. Prepare yourself and be vigilant. Stick to the truth. Educate yourself now while there are means to educate yourself. The internet is free right now. Any information is free on the internet as of right now. And who knows how long that'll last. Besides that, besides being educated and teaching your fellow citizens, which I try to do on a daily basis at the risk of sounding like a crazy person, just survive. Survive what's coming, because there's a massive depression coming. This past weekend, Canada became a dictatorship when they suspended Parliament. The North American Union is a very likely possibility. And we have Barack Obama, who's been elected under circumstances very similar to Adolf Hitler. Not to make a character judgment call, but I'm talking about situation. So, folks at home, be prepared to survive the worst of circumstances, and be vigilant, be educated, be prepared.
Dave, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Johnny K. from the WTPofRI Free Speech TV show. You just mentioned something about troops that are trained in the art of war and fire and soil being trained for situations to arise domestically. Could you elaborate on that? I could do my research.
I think currently the number is about 20,000 troops being trained essentially for riot control. I think it's on, not that it's necessarily on everybody's mind, but on, I would say, definitely on a higher level of governance, and most people that are really factoring in everything that's going on, like economically and the effects that it has. Currently, the liquidity crisis affects the food supply. Farms take out loans at the beginning of every planting season. They plant their crops, they grow their crops, they harvest their crops, and then when they sell them, they tend to pay off the loans. Right now, that money isn't there. Not to mention, when inflation hits, the food that we do so abundantly provide in this country will be beyond our means to purchase, because we will no longer be competitive with other nations. We could technically go into protectionist sort of acts and say, oh, food grown here belongs here. You know, that'll open up Pandora's box as far as that's concerned. But there will be a day when food, like supermarket shelves, will be empty, and people will be showing up trying to stockpile because they realize there's a shortage, and it will be too late. And there's no other way to react for a lot of people than to protest, than to march, than to perhaps loot and riot when they can. It's kind of funny you brought that up, because, I mean, well, to backtrack a bit, that scenario will have to be dealt with when people start looting and start rioting, like we saw in New Orleans. You know, after Katrina, those people were treated like they're criminals. They're stranded. They were stranded. And they wanted to survive. And that's basic instinct for any human being, for any animal. So people are still going to abide by that. And when it gets out of hand, there will be a need to control the situation, to maintain peace in America. You look at the riots in Greece right now. Look at the protesting borderline riots in Iceland. You know, look at what's going on in Thailand right now. You know, I mean, this sort of thing is happening everywhere. But in other places, the government has less control than it does here. And I know we love to believe that we're the land of the free, but there is no government on the planet more prepared to pacify its own citizens than America. Perhaps England. I mean, they got cameras everywhere. But America.
This concludes this program broadcast. We the People, a freedom of speech television show. Go to www.wethepeopleofri.org.